Hey, what is going on out there in social media world? It is your guy, Tony Clopton, on Skill Sets to Assets with my co-host. Introduce yourself.
Melissa King.
MK, Melissa
Melissa.
King. Okay. How's everybody doing out there? Hey, we ain't got no think. Come on, Melissa. You supposed to have the music going to hype people up. Come on now.
You the DJ.
No, I'm the DJ on your show. You supposed to be the DJ on my show.
Oh, well.
Mm.
Shoe up, do up.
We need to do
Shoe
that over.
up, do up.
That didn't come out right.
Okay.
You know, I got to have a beat. I got to be hyped, man. I've been off all week long. I got to keep this momentum going, right?
I don't know what to tell you.
Did I say I was off again? Did I say I was off?
No, you didn't mention that.
Hey, man.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I've been running, y'all. I've been enjoying myself, man. I know everybody can't be out, but when you do get off, man, you just got to do something for yourself. But I'm doing this for y'all. We educating people out there. I got enough time. I done dissected and unfolded. Me and Melissa ready to drop some information on y'all, right? Melissa, are you ready to empower the people out there?
I'm ready.
I'm ready. Look, so we got our. Can I introduce our co-host that's coming up? And I want y'all to, and we're just trying to make sure that everybody get this, because I played it and it just set on me, and I said I got to share it to my people out there. Is it okay if we share this with them?
What's the saying? Yeah, Wally.
Yeah. Wally. So let's go ahead on and set this clip up.
Okay.
I could tell your future by your friends. I tell people all that time, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. Mm-hmm. And I think our culture don't get that. Mm-hmm. So if you sitting around, you angry, you mad, and you talking about something, I don't care about what I did 20 years ago, Charlamagne.
That's right.
I'm focused on the now, how to grow, how to get better. Because time don't wait for nobody. Like I told them, everybody got 24 hours. If you hanging in a club, partying, or chilling, you ain't going to have nothing. And don't get mad at me because I'm shining 25 years later.
Oh, Lord. I know somebody gonna be in their feelings about this. And Melissa, what you think about that clip? Give me your personal opinion on that.
He is right as rain. He is so right. It makes me you can't be no clearer than it. It's almost like what the old folks used to say, you charge by the company you keep.
Sure, you're right.
So he say, whatever friends you have around you represent where where you gonna be. So I mean, them strong words, because you can take that either way. If you got good people, you're gonna be in a good place. But if you got some shitty people,
you ain't lying. Hey, so look, y'all. Let's tie that clip into when we talk about business, right? It's like, now here's how I look at it, Melissa, and you jump in or weigh in any chance you get. So when we were in school, we followed the pack. Everybody want to know what you gonna do when you get out of high school. So everybody was either going to college or they went into the workforce, right? That's right. You only had like two options, right, for us.
Military.
Yeah, or the military. So it's like most people couldn't afford to go to college. So the next avenue was to go to somebody's job, right?
Right.
Not many people talk about business. So imagine if you had the mindset of becoming a business owner and your friends followed you into that business. Where do you think you would be today, 25 years later, operating in a system that's growing, right? Like what we're doing now. What do you think about that?
If I had that foresight to do that, then I would probably be in a pretty good place, because I've been out of school a long time.
Yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely. So,
but you're right on that point. I'm thinking about when we was getting ready to graduate, nobody's plans that I remember was to be an entrepreneur at that moment. Like, nobody said, I'm starting my business.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right on that. It usually was either one of those avenues, either you going off to school or the military, or you going to work.
So let me ask you this. At your age, coming straight out of high school, how do you think your friends would have received you starting a business?
Well, first of all, I wouldn't have been able to get that idea past Queen and Willie King,
Right.
who would be
Yeah.
my parents. I wouldn't even have to worry about what my friends had to say because they would greet me with a big, huge no.
Mm-mm.
No, no, and no. Unless I had some kind of God gifted talent that was some guaranteed money. So I can't even think of what my friends, you know what, my friends might have supported me on that. I had some pretty supportive friends, but they'd been looking at me crazy like, is she for real? But if she say so, but I mean, is she for real?
Yeah.
But yeah, that one even got off the ground because my dad would have put the hammer on that early.
Right. Right.
Mm-mm.
So look, I'm gonna tell y'all this right here, and a lot of people don't know this about me. I think I was like 11 or 12 years old. I ordered some newspapers. It was called Grit back in the days. My mom and dad have been so supportive of me, and my mama laugh at this today because they sent a big old box of newspapers to the front door of their home where I stayed. I lived with them at 11, 12 years old. So they said, it had a name spelled wrong. They said Antonio Cofounder. If you did not want the grits, why did you order them? Now, I ain't had no idea that I needed a car and I needed to have some neighbors to sell my newspaper to. So my mama got tickled to death. Like, baby, you ordered all these newspapers. You done told them folks you wanted a business, and it's just sitting out here on the front porch. Man, mama laughed. Anthony Carpenter, what you doing with them newspapers? But hey, I came with it. I
And
wanted
you
to
know
help the
what's
family.
funny? What makes it even more funny is I know where you live. So who you was gonna deliver papers to up there on the mountain?
I didn't think that part out. I didn't think that part out. All I knew, I wanted to be a business owner. At 11, 12 years old, Antonio Carpenter wanted to sell some newspapers to
So
somebody.
hold on, how did you pay for? How did you order it? Did you have to pay?
I got them out the newspaper. They will send you free the newspapers, and
Okay, okay.
then you send them the money.
So yeah, you were business minded. I'm gonna give you that.
I was business
Yeah,
minded. I was. Some people come like this, and some people don't. So I
right,
already know that when we were younger, you can't talk about no business to no grown folk because all they knew was you better go get you a job. That's what you're gonna
right,
do. You're gonna leave here. You ain't gonna be in here eating up all the food, right?
right, right.
So
That
so
is funny enough.
I
How
know.
you gonna sell the grits?
And you ain't got no neighbors and you ain't got no car. I didn't think that part out. I
You
really
know,
didn't.
who you gonna give to the squirrels and the chipmunk?
Yeah. So look, y'all. So I played that Master P video because it made sense. It's pretty much saying that if you can look at the friends that you have, and if they're not in business and doing stuff for themselves, it's gonna be hard for you to probably convince them that business ownership is the way to go because they're probably stuck in a employee mentality, right? And
True.
that's okay. I mean, I ain't always thought working for someone else. I always thought about owning my own business, but we can't get in our feelings when you talk about friends and family because it's who they were. They learned that from their parents, just like some of us. We just
Right.
happened to get some information that we used and it helped us. So, Melissa, just kind of like your experience about sharing your my econ business with other people. What has been your what's been your role? How have you been fanning, especially when you first started?
You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. It's been a mixed bag. Uh, Now I got people who were like looking at me like, really, you know. And then, of course, I always tell you a story about my dad told me, "Baby, you going to jail."
Mm-hmm.
And my friends and stuff were supportive, but I don't think they quite understood what we were doing because I didn't quite understand. You know, I was
Mm-hmm.
new to the business and
Mm-hmm.
everything. And I will say this, a lot of them were supportive and signed up, you know, to the business just to support me. But that really is not the ideal situation because if you don't see the value in my econ, you signing up to help me out is not really helping either one of us out.
Yeah.
Because the fact of the matter is, as long as I'm telling you about the business and I'm, I'm doing my part.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to reap the benefits of being a business owner, whether you choose to do business with me or not.
Right.
So I had a lot of friends and family that may have started out and they did it for like a month or two, but they didn't really have a full understanding of how this could benefit them. So, if you don't see the benefit of something, like it's plenty of times I done signed up for stuff and then I get my credit card bill later. I'm like, when did I might have been trying to get the first 7 days free. You know how they get you. You gotta turn it off, So I look at it, I don't see no value in it. What do?
Right.
I turn it off. And a lot of them did the same thing.
Right.
So, I think I was blessed because I didn't have a lot of negativity as far as that's dumb, that's stupid, that ain't gonna work. Why you bothering with that? Because see, that type of negativity would have, I'm not gonna say it would or it wouldn't have made me quit, but when people put negative stuff in your spirit, even when you are standing there blocking it out, like, man, that ain't true, it's still in your spirit.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It can be discouraging. I can see that. I want to say this part right here. A lot of people, and like I say, a lot of people, including myself, you have to know why you start, right? And if you don't know why you started, it's easily for you to get discouraged, especially when you're going to the people that you cherish their opinions the most. Like you may have a rich uncle and he got his money from working that good job. And he's like, hey, you better just keep your eye on the prize and work and get away from all that little stuff. That stuff don't work because he never did it. So he thinking work. He feel like the only way you can get wealthy and live a great life is you got to find a good job and work all your life. But that's not so. I can tell you now, personally, I've had a lot of people that joined my team, and I can say probably it was a failure on my part because I probably did not give them the right information that they needed to stick with it. I'm going to take some ownership on that because at some point I look at how our compensation plan is set up. I'm supposed to have been a millionaire by the number of people that I sponsored, right?
That's true.
I know, but maybe it was the timing wasn't right. Maybe Tony wasn't able to handle $1 million. But the people that I'm bringing in now, I'm trying to give them the best value that I can, like literally pouring into them. This is what I did. This is how I stayed focused. Hey, this is the information you need to succeed. Hey, let's do this. And it's like now I'm trying to be a little more hands-on, and I'm trying to put myself out there to a point where if you need me, I got you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because and then I think it's good we're having this conversation too, because when you start something new, your comfort zone, your as we call it, your warm market is always who? Your friends and your family.
Right.
But like we've said before, these are also the same friends and family that knew you when your credit score was 591.
Yeah.
Knew you when you decided to do this venture, that venture, and it didn't work out. Who don't know you as a financial guru.
Right.
So, it's an advantage because you feel more comfortable talking to them, but it's also a disadvantage because they know you. They know the real you.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. People judge you on your past, and I get that too. I think one of the some people in other businesses say that your friends will celebrate you when strangers do. And it kind of makes sense, right? Because it's like people can get used to seeing you and know what you're about, and they've heard, what you do. And it's crazy. Like people will look over you having a business and go to someone else that offer the same services. And you thinking, why would you not talk to your cousin or your family members? I try to support as many people as I can because I understand the struggles of trying to get your business going. So regular
Yeah,
support is just liking the comment, right? Just sharing it or giving a thumbs up or just
right.
anything,
I'm the
So
same way. If I am affiliated with you in any way, like we just said, over the years, we done bought so much candy,
yeah,
candles,
yeah,
gift wrap, as far as like supporting the kids. Then like, people that I see on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram that's advertising something that I may need. I'm gonna order their product. I'm gonna promote their product. I got friends who have written books. I share it. I promote it because I know how hard it is when you're starting out and people maybe don't take you seriously. They don't know if you're
hmm
gonna keep this up. My
right,
thing is, I'm a believer in karma. I think what you put out in the universe, you will get it back. So that's
absolutely,
why I don't have a problem supporting people when they're selling something or doing something. If they're having an event, I'll share it. I'll plug it. Even if it's something I can't use, maybe I know somebody who uses.
that's right,
So, you
yeah,
know, I try to do that because I know how hard it is for people, especially when they just get started. Because we were talking today, and remember I was telling you, sometimes the hardest part is not if they don't bite or if they don't respond. Sometimes the
Mhm.
hardest part is what if they do? What I do
Right.
next? What I do
What do I
next?
say? Uh-oh.
I was telling you when I first started, I started in November. I didn't really start doing anything with the business until like the first of the year. I think around Christmas that year we had a special where we were signing people up for what, $12.95 or something like
Right.
that.
Uh-huh.
So
Hmm.
when I did my first post on Facebook before I hit send, I was like, oh, I was so nervous because I'm like, now if somebody responds back and say they want to do this, what I do then? You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
So it's like it's a nervousness both ways because you feel like you don't know as much about I know for me, I felt like I'm a very overly prepared type person. Like I'm gonna study beforehand, I'm gonna get all my information. With this,
Overthinker.
with this, I felt like I didn't have enough time, and everybody say, "Well, I gotta learn. I'm gonna share it. I just gotta learn more about it. I need to research on it." And then that same stuff is sitting over here to the side, and you hadn't got to looking at it yet.
Right.
You know,
Yep.
and it's
Yep.
almost like tomorrow or later don't come. And then after that, you done been in business for you realize I've been taking this 34.95 out of my account for 3 months, and I ain't doing nothing with it.
Right.
I'm losing. I'm bad at this. I'm
Yeah.
a loser. I'm a
Hmm.
quit. And
Hmm.
then on top of that, you got your friends over there. See, I told you it was a bad idea. That $90 you could have had in your pocket that you just gave
Right.
away. Blah blah
Yeah.
blah. You know how
Yeah.
it goes.
You could have gave me that money if you gonna throw it away. Hey, so
Right.
let's talk about I remember a 30-year financial advisor that came into our business, and we're not gonna give his name out right now, but
Okay.
he was already a millionaire. He joined this little home-based business, and that's what all his friends were saying. But man, what you doing playing with that little business? You already making millions of dollars and
No.
over all these corporate accounts. And he said if he would have listened to his friends and his peers, he would have lost out on several $1 million. So it's
Right.
like your friends do have a kind of like a little chokehold on you because they always in your ear. They traveling with you. You guys going out to dinner and stuff like that. Then they asking you what you got going on, and you tell them about some little home-based business, and they looking at you like, man, ain't you rich? What you worry about all that for, man? You ain't got time for that. Then they try to impose how they feel about what you doing on you. So it's like, I get it. I get it. So it's like you got to be careful who you share your vision with because the vision is for you, right? And
Right.
what we've learned is like a lot of people are lack of the knowledge that we have. And all we can do is continue to educate and hopefully the light bulb will click for them just like it did for us.
That is so true. And the little catchphrase now that I see people posting and saying is protect your energy. That is true. You
Yeah.
do have to protect your positive energy because Negative energy, like what I was saying the other night, is like a wet blanket. It has a way of coming in and just shutting everything down. So it's like, of course, there's no way to 100% keep negativity out of your life. Lord knows I try, because I don't watch the news. My friends will tell you now, as far as what's going on in the world, I can't tell you nothing, because I tell them I'm not watching the news. It's all bad. When they start putting good stuff on the news, that's when I watch. Otherwise, y'all keep me informed on what's
Mhm.
going on.
Yeah.
Because I don't like letting that in my spirit, and you have to do that with your business too. Like when you start, and be prepared for, be prepared for the excuses. Be prepared to be dodged, ducked or dodged. You know, not long after I started, I remember I put out a PSA saying I do not have, how did I phrase it? I've been tested, and I tested negative for the network marketing cooties, meaning
Yeah, I remember
I'm
that.
not
Yeah.
gonna stalk you down. You don't have to worry about it. Every time you see me trying to sell you something,
Right.
you don't have to be scared to like my post thinking I'm gonna come back and say, hey, you want to be in this business? Because once, that's another thing, and I'm guilty of it too. Like, if I'm going in Sam's and I see them direct TV folks standing at the front of the store, I'm like,
I
damn,
already got
I don't want to be bothered with this today, and I'm, before I even hear what the deal is, I'm not interested.
I already got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like people will build that up on you too, and I already be prepared to shoot you down. Cause
Right.
like we were talking about, like some of the, what are some of the top uh,
Oh yeah.
things you've
Oh, this is
heard?
good. This is good, y'all. And if anybody out there, y'all can kind of, it don't matter what business you in. So
Right.
me and Melissa, we consider ourselves field agents. We pretty much heard everything under the sun why people don't join or why they give you an excuse why they can't join. So I
Right.
think let me give you two of mine, and then we'll bounce off each other, right?
Okay.
Okay. The first one is for me is, man, I ain't had time. Man, I'm just too busy right now. The second one is, man, I gotta talk to my old lady. I gotta talk to my old lady about this, and then I get back with you.
Now
What
see,
you got?
that second one is the one I was gonna say too. I can't make any financial decisions without talking to my mate. We equally yoked. We equally yoked. And
Yeah.
and then I've been meaning to look at it. I'm gonna get back with you when I get paid next week.
Yeah. Next week.
Next week. Another good one. You know what? I got so many things going on right now.
Yeah.
Let me like straighten out what I got going on, and
Hmm.
then we can talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, how about this one right here? Man, I need to do a little more research on it, man. I think I'm
Right.
about halfway there.
That's
I'm
a
real
good
close,
one.
man. Hey, what you got
That's
going
a
on
good
next
one.
week? What you got going on next week? What you got going on next week? What you got going on? I'm like, you told me that last week, but it's okay. I said, man, stop. I can't take no more. I can't take
Right.
no more.
So yeah, it's like that was a good one. The research one, my econ has got to be the most researched business in the world,
Hmm.
because people will tell you that they doing some. Let me do some more research. Or here's one. Okay, let me see how it go for you. And
Ooh,
then
that's a
now
good.
I'm like, it's been going on 6 years. How much longer you gonna watch me?
Right. Yeah. Let me see what it do for you. Then hey, man,
Yeah.
I ain't trying to go to jail.
Right. That should be number one. For my econ, that should be number one. Because I told you that.
Yeah, you did
Remember?
tell me
I
that.
was
I
like,
ain't trying to go to jail.
I ain't trying to go to jail. I'm like, I want to try this thing, but
Oh
yeah.
man.
But yeah, we done heard them all.
We done heard it all. And I appreciate it too, because I keep building my list, and now I can know how to oh man, let's talk about now. A lot of people don't join this business because it's considered multi-level marketing. So let's talk about the two-sided coin in our business, because they feel like you have to nag people to join your business. And that's the biggest thing. Most people say, man, I ain't trying to recruit nobody in the business, and friends and family be the first one to say, I ain't with that. Them things don't work. So
Right.
what do you say about somebody that say, is this a pyramid? What do you say, Melissa, so people out there can understand that this is a $1 trillion industry, the $1 billion industry?
Well, the hardest thing for me to get at first was I didn't understand because I had never done a business or whatever. I'm like, what do you mean by pyramid? Like, I don't get that, because a lot of people had experience with what is it, like Tupperware and what's the big
Amway,
one? Amway,
Mary Kay been around for a long time.
Mary
Uh,
Kay,
what else? Uh, Noni Juice,
Noni, yeah.
Noni.
And I guess and the thing of it is, I think people will remember a horror story before they remember a success story.
Right.
Because you can't tell me everybody got a cousin that did that, and this what happened to them, and they lost all, and my uncle lost all his money dealing
Right.
with one of them things. And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, what things? But you know what? Until somebody broke it down to me, what they're saying by pyramid is meaning in order to stay in the business or the company, you have to keep bringing people in. So they feel like if they don't bring anybody in, then what's the point of them getting in? And they don't want to bring nobody in. They don't want to recruit. They don't want to do this.
Yeah.
And that's me too. I'm not a salesperson,
Right.
But when you think about a pyramid, and I had somebody break this down to me, and it made a lot of sense too. A pyramid, you got somebody at the top, and you got people steadily coming down. And it's like the lower it comes down, the broader it goes across, and usually the less money you make.
Right.
That's my job. That's the job I currently work.
Right.
Because we have a CEO. We have under the CEO, you got VPs, you got managers, supervisors, and then you got the worker bees at the bottom. So that is a pyramid, if I must say. So the only difference is, and the biggest difference with my econ is, a common misconception, I'm going to still reap the benefits whether you join my business or not.
Right.
Because me providing the education and giving my testimony is pretty much what I do. So I've earned my whatever when I do that. And I think, when you think about, a lot of people only count value as how much money you make. We've had this discussion before too. So it's like, if you're not signing people up, you're not bringing in an income because you're not getting the money from doing it. Well, that's not the only stream of income there is. The biggest stream of income you get from being a home-based business owner are the deductions.
Right.
And you may not have $1,000 in business income and still be sitting over here with over $10,000 in deductions, which is still money going back into your house. So, am I really bad at what I do? Maybe.
Yeah.
But
you still winning.
I'm still winning.
Yeah. That's so true, Melissa. It's just like, and then that's the part that we have to kind of educate people on, because those are one of the hangups. I don't want to have to do a pyramid. And then we have to break that down, debunk that, because a pyramid is really, you're not providing quality services, right? In exchange for money. We have that. We are accredited A+ with the Better Business Bureau. We've been around for 16 years. So when you start hearing people talk about pyramids don't last. Essentially, they don't last very long. But when you're connected with the IRS and we are teaching straight from the IRS, then you have some ammunition, not to get into I want to say pissing contest, but you don't want to get into an argument you can't argue with a fool, what they say. So it's like, sometimes you just got to, hey, if somebody's really genuinely wanting to understand what you do, then you refer them to some publications like the IRS publication 463 and 15, things that we've learned. And you don't have to be an expert. I say we are referral agents. Listen first. And in our business, all we have to do is listen to you. If you say you're struggling with credit, we have a credit repair system. If you say you're struggling with your taxes, we're going to show you our income shifting membership. So it's like, if you take the time to really listen to what people are going through, whether they receive it or not. You got it
Yeah.
all for you because you got something to offer. And that's how I look at it. There's no pressure on me if you say not at this time, I'm not interested. You don't have to
Right.
feed me no line of I'm gonna get back with you next week. Hey, I ain't got the money. Oh, you don't need no money. I'm gonna get
Right.
you signed up for free. Now what is your excuse?
They'll find one.
They sure will. Well, free what? How free is free?
There ain't no such thing as free. That's too good to be true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
too good to be true.
and it's so funny. I never realized how many financial experts I knew because when I started doing this, I started hearing all of this. No, you can't do that. No, you can't do this. You can. I'm like, oh wow. Maybe you should be in business
Yeah,
because you got an answer for everything I say that we do
right.
as to why it's not legal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that ain't legal. You can't do that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay.
You know what? I gotta say this. I think that this business is really all about the information that you obtain. Like if you don't get in and understand it and do your research on the IRS website and really tap in, you probably will
Mhm.
fade the black. You know, people fall off wagons all the time. Like, hey man, hey, I'm gonna get it. I got it. I got it. The energy is good, motivation good. Next thing you know, you ain't heard from them. It's like they
Yep.
never stay connected. You got to plug in, and then the information will start coming out your system, right? You know what I'm saying? So I'm always ready and willing to talk about my business because I understand it enough to explain it. And if I can't, I got other business partners that I can talk to that you may want to talk to. You know what I'm
You
saying?
know, it's almost like somebody in school, like, after you get out of high school and you go to college, in high school they got truancy officers, you gotta go. But in college, what you get out of college is based on what you put into it. So
Right.
like if you the type that don't never go to class, meaning
Mm-hmm.
you're not plugged in,
Mm-hmm.
you don't do your studying, you don't research, you don't look at the publications. Like my econ gives you everything you need to be successful. If you're not successful, it's because you didn't plug in and you didn't, grow your business the way you should have. Or I don't want to make it seem like it's your fault, but it kind of is if you don't research it. It's
Mm-hmm.
one thing if you get in there and you did everything they said to do and you fail, which I don't know how that's possible because if you're doing everything they tell you to do, you're definitely getting deductions if nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
But you go to college and you don't know put forth any effort, at some point you're just gonna quit because you feel like you wasting your money, you creating
Right.
these student loans you're gonna be able to pay off, and you out, and you feel like you wasted time. Well, people can feel the same way about business, but just like with college, they're not just gonna no college I know of just gonna give you a degree.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
same thing with this. You gotta put the work in. You know, if you want to have a business, if you want to do this business, I would think with any other business, you're gonna have to put some work in. It's not just gonna be boom, I pay you the $39.95 and I start getting you $34.95 a month and next year I'm rich. But you haven't done anything. You haven't posted anything. You hadn't even opened up your own back office.
Right.
You calling me at tax time asking me what your password is. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't know. You said it
Right.
when you joined. Well, that was 8 months ago, and you haven't been back in since. But you think because we're taking $34.95 out a month, why am I not successful? You got to put in work too.
Right.
You know.
So we got two situations we got going on. It's like getting over the rejection of friends and family, which is your warm market, and then the second part is your mindset about learning and getting the information for yourself. So
Right.
those are two hurdles that in business that can really damage you to a point where you may fade to black and say, "Hey, this ain't for me." But
Yeah.
I can say getting over those two, what you just said, is like really diving in, dissecting
Yeah.
what you have, and the rejection part of friends and family not really joining because those are the ones that are closer to you. So
Yeah, because you don't really if it's a stranger, you don't really care what. I don't know them. I don't know nothing about them. But when it's somebody that you are cool with or close with or whatever. And not saying that everybody that you close to has to join your business, but if they're negative about it or they're derogatory about it, that kind of like puts a wet blanket on things. And I was blessed because like I said, I haven't had that experience. My friends, not all of my friends wanted to join my business, but they respect the fact that I have a business. And, we haven't had an issue. Same thing with my family. My dad made it clear this was not something that he wanted to do. He didn't feel like he was going to put the work in. I was like, okay,
Yeah,
even though
you got to respect that.
Right. And that's the thing too. Like I said, I don't want people thinking every time they see me, they got to run the other way because, damn, she going to be asking me about this doggone business. I don't want to do no business. That's all she talk about.
Yeah.
I personally, unless somebody asks me that I've already talked to about it, if unless they ask me, I usually don't even bring it up. But I don't always have to bring it up because, like, if I'm out to dinner with somebody and I take a picture of my receipt, that's a conversation starter in itself.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? I do the. You still doing it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm still doing it. Doing it. How is that going? So you open the door. It's like I see on special on Law and Order. You know how the judge say, counselor, you open the door.
Yeah.
So when you ask me questions, you open the door.
Right.
You brought the conversation up.
That's right. And you know what? And it's okay to know it like who you dealing with. It's like if you're not coming to me about business, I'm not going to force what I have going on you. Like, of
Right.
course, if you having some issues with credit or say, hey, man, you might want to take a look at our credit repair system. Would you mind if I send some information? But it's not like I'm thirsty. I'm not thirsty for nobody. And it's like people can feel or sense the thirstiness in you if somebody asks you about the business. Hey, that's not me. Hey, I know the nature of people. I understand people. I like, hey, if you're interested, here's some information. Hey, get back with me on your own time. I'm not gonna call you, and I'm not gonna worry. I'm not sure nothing ain't gonna chase you. I got too much other things I could be doing trying to chase somebody. But yeah, just be open and willing to share.
I didn't experience people will not even like your post because they scared if they put a like on there, you're gonna hit them back and be like, hey,
you ready?
You want to do this? It sounds like you ready to do this.
Right.
I don't do people like that. If you ask me a question, but on the other hand, let me say this for people who are in business, and as Cedric Jenkins used to say, around here working like they're a secret agent for the CIA. They don't want nobody to know they got a business. Now that don't work either. That's on the other extreme.
Right.
You have to let people know that you have a service. That don't mean you bombard them with it, but don't be afraid to tell people if you hear them talking about credit. Hey, you know what? The company I'm with, we have something for credit if you're interested. If you're not, that's cool. But we do got some because you might be cutting off somebody else's blessing by sitting there being quiet.
Right. Hold
on. Okay. So you just never know how how you may be able to help somebody. That's like with Pandy, who was on last week. She said she was in the live we were on Breeze channel, and she heard us talking about credit, and she like, wait a minute, I need that. So it could be just like that with somebody else, and you didn't open your mouth and say anything, and they don't know, and you didn't tell them.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I'm gonna give y'all a quick story now. Hey, what time is it, Melissa?
7:40. We've been on 40 minutes.
Okay, I'm gonna do a quick story on how I actually joined. One of my coworkers posted something on her Facebook page. We went to Punta Cana, and she loves to travel. I do too. She said she wrote off this trip 100%, and my light bulb went off. And I said, "Man, I need to get this information." So she dodged me for the least 2 or 3 days because she didn't know what to say to me because her upline suggested that she shared some information about her business. And I think I was the first one that signed under her. And she was like, what do? I don't know what to say. And she
Mhm.
no longer she no longer in the business, but she shared this information with me, and I'm so thankful that I went on that page being nosy, because
Right.
I now can write. Hey, now I now can write off my trips, right? Off the
Yep.
information she shared with me 7 years ago. So shout out to my upline who actually helped her share that information. And
Right.
like I say, just share the information. You never know who's watching. Just share what you have. You never know who needs the information. And it's okay not to say, "Hey, I don't know. Hey, I just joined. I'm excited, but let me get you on the phone with somebody that understands more, and then
Exactly.
take the pressure off of you." That's
Right.
all. That's all you need to do. So, like I say, me and Melissa, we're referral agents. We don't know everything about credit repair, but we have a system that teaches us. We don't know everything about taxes, but we know enough to get it to our tax preparer to lower our taxable income, right? So
Right.
everything we have is systems. So if you plug into the system will educate you along with some information that you are applying. Now you use your testimony to share with other people. What have this business
Exactly.
done for you? Well, I've cash flowed over $100,000 in 6 years. I've created $30,000 in investment income for my 13-year-old daughter. So I can say stuff like that because I did it. I used the strategies, y'all. So that's all
Right.
you have to do is know your business, be excited, and if you don't know, it's okay to call me, Melissa, or anybody else in the business for them to explain it.
Right. Because have you ever thought about how much money you would have lost had you not been doing this for the last 6 years? I mean, y'all go on vacation so regularly that all those thousands of dollars y'all spent on trips for the last 6 years and not writing any of that off. Can you
Right.
imagine? Yeah, I mean, credit card bills would be out to wazoo.
Mm,
You know, when I
mm.
started with my econ, I think my highest credit card bill was like over $3,000 maybe, and I paid that off in 6 months.
Wow. That's great.
In 6 months, just using the strategy. I brought that extra money in. I didn't play with that extra money. I ain't go out and have no fun with it. I said, you know what? If I wasn't doing this business, I wouldn't have it. I'm pretending like you don't got it. So
Hmm.
every time I got extra money, I took it and I just lump sum, just, start paying down the credit card bill, paid one off. And I was like, okay. So now I only have two left. I got my
Hmm.
car note, so I paid those two off, and then I said, "Shoot, now I got a lot of money freed up because I got 3 credit card bills that I usually would be sending money out on, and that was probably, let's say I was paying $50 a month on $150 I freed up. Not to mention the additional $800 a month I'm getting now because I shifted my income with the W-4. So now I'm sitting here with like over $1,000 to play with, not really play with, but you know what I mean. So now I'm like, okay, what's my next move? So I go back to the strategies.
Right.
Strategies say you got to
Invest.
have an emergency fund.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, strategies say I need to put this much aside. Strategies don't say only do one thing at a time now. They say put some aside, but you also need to start investing. So
Hmm.
then I'm like, but I don't know how to invest. Strategies say you got a business that teaches you about investment.
Hmm.
Learn about it.
Right.
Tell people about it. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So
Hmm.
it was like amazing how, it was like, how it be, it's almost like when you think about it, it's real cloudy outside, and all of a sudden the clouds start breaking away and the
Yeah. Yeah.
sunshine started coming through, and you just
Hmm.
like, you looking back like we are now 6 years later, and I'm listening to you say $100,000. I ain't never had that much money in my pocket at one time,
Hmm.
but you have literally over the last 6 years
Hmm.
increased
Cash
your
flow.
cash flow
Hmm.
by over 100,000.
Easy.
You know, and that's
Easily.
not even counting your income, your regular income.
Right.
This is
See,
additional
I
monies.
tell you what, people in this microwave mentality, they want things fast, right? And you got to look at,
You're
they
right.
want to jump over the W-4 adjustment, like getting the pay raise in your paycheck. They want to jump over not paying the debt down once they get the seed money. They want to jump over and not creating that emergency fund. See, you gotta follow the process. And then
Right.
here's the kicker: a lot of people join the business and don't even file their taxes with their business because guess what? The tax preparer, not a professional, have deterred them from using the business because they didn't make any money. It's like,
Right.
okay, I made an attempt to make a profit. That was solidifying me as a business owner, and I have proper record keeping,
Right.
solidified me as a business owner. When you know this, it's going to be
Those are the
hard
only two things you need.
for somebody to tell you that you cannot claim those deductions. You know,
Right.
like get into the know, and that's how you build your confidence by just plugging in. Just plug in.
Right. Because I've heard a lot of people say they go to their tax preparer and the first thing they say is this is not a business, this is a hobby. How you gonna tell me what I got?
Right.
I mean, I'm the one that's putting in the work and
Yeah.
getting on these lives and talking to people and spreading the information and tracking all of my expenses and everything. You gonna tell me this is a hobby? Most of my hobbies be fun. Not saying
Right.
this can't be fun, but when I think hobby, I think fishing,
Right.
tennis, some
Yeah.
stuff that you'll do even if you don't get paid.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not what this is for me. And then you have to keep in mind too, not every tax preparer is equally yoked.
That's right.
I can tell you right now, Tony and I are certified tax preparers.
Mm-hmm.
Do I put myself on the same level as some of the bigger ones?
No.
Now, we have access and we know how to look it up, but
Right.
my point is that person you going to at H&R Block or what's the other one, Jackson Hewitt, they might
Data
be one of
entry.
them.
Data entry.
Yeah, they may have had that. I think they do like a training course where they teach you what to do to enter information, and it's pretty much the tool is already set up where you're just plugging in the numbers. So when you hit them with something about IRS publication, blah 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 blah, they like they don't know.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I'm not putting them down. I'm just saying, don't let anybody devalue your business.
Yeah.
And you don't know if they know what you know.
That's right.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So
That's right.
just some tips, some things to think about when, if you're in business and you're feeling frustrated, and especially with this business, you feel like you want to quit and you're not getting enough out of it. Think about, like Tony said, who you surrounding yourself with.
Mm-hmm.
Your friends, your family.
Right.
And how that may be influencing you. Then also think about how much am I putting into this myself?
Mm-hmm.
Am I just sitting back waiting on presto change on Rich, or am I really plugging in, listening to we do a meeting here every Wednesday night on legacy buildings. Last night I heard a lot of crickets.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The
Mm-hmm.
information is there. The internet is free. You got your
Right.
phone with you everywhere you go. You only gonna get out of it what you put into it. So make
Yeah.
up your mind and decide that you ready to put into it, because we can't do that part.
Right.
We can,
Not
like you
to
said
mention
before.
we got the co-founder of the company that comes on Monday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Central, and he is literally giving you the game plan, the blueprint on everything that we do. And it's like there's so much value in what he's bringing to us. And sometimes you got to hear it from the horse's mouth. I mean, I can't deliver it like him, but just me listening, I'm learning. It may be
Right.
the same thing, but I'm learning, I'm taking notes so I can present if I have to. But why not utilize your resources? And I tell all my teammates, look, if you don't know everything about the business, why don't you share the co-founder of the business and allow him to deliver the message, right?
And one of the other things, and I forgot, this was a high on the list too, of negativity. When I hear people say that, that type of stuff is not meant for us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I heard that.
What do you
Mhm.
mean by that?
Yeah.
It's not meant for humans.
Yeah.
It's not meant for people who live in Alabama.
Right.
what is that? Because last time I checked, the IRS don't put no cultural restraints, or the only thing they ask you, are you a citizen?
Mm-hmm.
And even if you're not a citizen, they ask you for some kind of number or whatever. So that's still not saying you can't be a business owner. Quit letting people tell you what's not for you, and you decide what's for you.
That's
You
right.
know, and don't always judge the messenger either.
That's right.
We have a lot of successful people in our company that are of all ages. Some of them you wouldn't even guess they was a millionaire.
Oh yeah.
And they got more money than Joe Schmo down the street that
That's
you
right.
think is rich because he's driving an Escalade and he got a 3-car garage.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so hey, we getting close. I want to definitely get on the call at 8 o'clock. Hey, I want to thank everybody for coming on, and Melissa always giving some valuable information coming from your perspective. It's good to have more people on. Hopefully, we can have more people come on and share their experiences. And I'm telling you, it's like literally telling your story, and that's how you build your business, by sharing what this business, our financial service business, is doing for you personally. It's the personal financial success company. So I just want to thank everybody for coming on. Melissa, I'll give you closing words and I'll just end it after you.
Okay. Thanks as always for having me on. But the reason Tony and I do this every week is so we can show other people that it don't have to be as hard as you think it is. We regular schmegular everyday folks. We get on here on our cell phones and we hit a button. It ain't like you gotta have all of this fancy equipment and go all out of your way. If you can talk and tell your story, and you don't even have to get online and do it. We prefer to do it so people can see that anybody can do it. But don't be afraid to invest in yourself, and don't be so quick to give up if things don't go right immediately. Sometimes it takes you, when a baby starts learning to walk, how many times they fall before they get it. But I don't think I done seen any baby yet that didn't have some type of physical defect that never learned to walk.
Right.
Eventually they were able to get up and walk. So think of your business the same way. And if there's anything that I can do personally to help you get started or answer any questions, feel free to reach out to me on any platform. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. The girls now have a TikTok page. Oh, let me say that real quick too. Tony, I am in hula hoop boot camp.
Okay.
My daughter put me in boot camp because she won't allow me to embarrass her. So y'all pray for me.
Yeah.
Because it's hard out here trying to learn how to. Yeah, hard out here trying to learn how to hoop. So I've been flooding everybody's timelines with the hula hoop videos. But
bless
notice
your
you haven't gotten another one from me because I have been banned from doing so until I can do a better job.
It's
so
okay.
y'all keep me in your prayers for the boot camp.
No doubt. Hula hoop boot camp. Well, awesome. Hey, I want to thank you guys for coming on. Remember, your friends and family can make or break your business, but hey, they are the first line to use. Hey, practice on them. You're going to get slapped around a few times. That's okay to practice and say, hey, man, take a look at this and tell me what you think.
Yeah.
Hey, you ain't got to take it. Tell me what you think.
That's a good way to think of it. Practice.
Yeah, practice on it. They practice dummies.
Right. It's like, especially if you know they're gonna say no.
They're gonna say no. If it's okay, it's like, man, hell no. I ain't about all that. Yeah. Well, yeah. So hey, I'm gonna go ahead and go so we can catch Mr. Stokes at 8, man. So hey, thank you, MK, and thank you all that were out there listening. I hate that we didn't get a chance to see if anybody had any comments, but we'll always go back at the feed. You got any questions?
I didn't see any obvious ones. If I missed any, maybe, but I didn't see anything.
That's cool. But if anybody think of something, please drop them in the comments at the end, and we'll try to get back. You guys have a great night.
All right. Good night.
Good night.